Is Miami back? Yes, I just asked the question, didn't I? And I will answer that question at the end of the video. Best discussion, debate, and analysis right here at the Voice of College Football. We appreciate you stopping by. Please like the video and subscribe. We talk college football every day, and we are so hyped and overjoyed to be actually talking college football after watching games. But not great games on this Saturday, week one. We were supposed to have this amazing triple header on ABC. In the first two games, duds. Georgia blasts Clemson. Miami, surprisingly, blasts Florida. Vegas had this as a tight game with the Gators just a 3-point underdog at home, but this one was not close. It was close on the scoreboard to a certain extent through the first half, but Florida was never any challenge for Miami in this one. All right, let's start to answer that question, because my analysis of this Miami football team coming into this season was best quarterback in the ACC, best roster, best two-deep roster, which is more important, best offensive line, best weapons. They've had the best recruiting the last two cycles. And Mario Cristobal actually, despite a horrible record the first 2 years at 12-13, inherited a top 15 roster. And now they obviously struck gold in the transfer portal with Damian Martinez and others. But what's been the holdup? Well, the coaching. The in-game adjustments, the game preparation, the development of the players. The coaching staff has not been good through the first 2 years. Okay, would they come through this season, and will Miami finally fulfill its potential, especially in what appears to be a weakened ACC, because Clemson, I know they played the best team in the country on Saturday, but they were woeful on offense. And Florida State, of course, was pathetic in its effort against Georgia Tech. These are just early results, I understand that, but not a good indication at the top of the ACC. So Miami may be prepared to dominate in the conference, just like they dominated starting from the first series against Florida. It was a close game on the scoreboard, but basically because Miami missed on two plays in the first half. Cam Ward, of course, after Florida pinned them deep in their own territory, well, he threw that against the grain back over to the cross to the middle of the field interception. That was a bad decision, so the Gators picked that off, and the Miami defense did what it did the entire afternoon, denying Florida to advance the football, but gave up a field goal. And then there was the big Montrell Johnson 71-yard touchdown run as the Miami secondary failed to contain the play. And that kept Florida close at 17-10 on the scoreboard. But Miami dominated this game, both sides of the ball, up front, too fast, too physical. Cam Ward, a better quarterback than Graham Mertz, in which we made that comparison today, although Mertz did not have the pass protection that Cam Ward enjoyed in going 26 of 35, 385 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that one pick. Xavier Restrepo, the favored target of Tyler Van Dyke. Well, he's the favored target of Cam Ward apparently as well, just because he's that good, as possibly the best slot receiver in college football. 7 for 112 and a touchdown. Cam McCormick made that first touchdown, and we note that because he's the longest tenured player in college football with a 9th year. The Oregon transfer, it was nice to see him score a touchdown. He just wants to play a full college football season, and again, got the first touchdown on the board for Miami in 2024. Elijah Arroyo, the other tight end. This is good news for Miami fans. He's healthy, and Miami only got so much production from its tight ends last year. 21 receptions, not good, but Elijah Arroyo would be the guy that could pick up the Miami tight end legacy. The defense was dominant. Graham Mertz did not have a chance. This is a guy that was near the top of college football last year in completion percentage at 74%, 20 touchdowns, 3 picks. Not on this day, 11 of 24. Graham Mertz is the Florida offense. They just got the one play out of Montrell Johnson, and they kicked the field goal because they got the interception. The offense did nothing against what we just called a second ago the best defensive front in the ACC, and maybe even beyond that. So, is Miami back? I will say this, that by all indications, I don't think this is smoke and mirrors because Florida's not a good football team, but they've got talent, they've got speed, they've recruited in the top 10 to 15 in the nation. This is a decent roster. It's just a dysfunctional team, and Billy Napier appears to be a dead man walking for sure now after losing by 4 touchdowns to Miami, who might be the 5th or 6th best team on the schedule. So back to Miami. Yes, if we're just looking at schedule, absolutely they're back because they can take advantage of a schedule that does not include NC State or Clemson. Their first test of the season might be at home on a Friday night against Virginia Tech later this month, but maybe not. We saw Virginia Tech go to Vandy and lose by a touchdown in overtime. But of course, these teams get better. Let's not overreact to week 1. But this team has the talent, and I'm not just talking about recruited talent that we have seen fail in the past because it wasn't developed and they turned out to be 4- and 5-star recruiting busts. No, these are guys that have already accomplished in college football, so they've already produced at this level. They just have to be put together, and it just has to come together. And on this day, in a hostile environment on the road against a talented team, albeit a dysfunctional one, they did put it all together and again roll to this victory. It was not close. On the Florida side, so Miami's a fringe top 10 to 15 team in the nation. So is Miami back national championship caliber? I do not believe so. We will wait and see, and probably based on what we've seen of Clemson and Florida State, may not be able to answer that question until they play somebody else outside the conference in the CFP. Now, on the Florida side, after what we saw today, I just cannot imagine that Billy Napier is going to be coaching this team in 2025, let alone maybe not even in November. And that is sad to say. I don't like to see guys get fired. I think that he's doing his best. It's just not coming together for him. They got DJ Lagway into the game in the second half. He threw 6 passes and completed 3. But because of the schedule, once again, if Florida was in the Big 12 or the ACC, then this would be a bad loss and there would be another day to fight. Well, they will have to fight because it's on the schedule, but I would be shocked if this team, after what I saw today, I thought that there was a chance that this team could go, let's say, 7-5 against its schedule and would show something and with a good recruiting class save Billy Napier's job. But after this performance, again, it's not just the loss. They were not competitive. If they would have lost this game 31-28, I would have said, man, that's not going to look good for the record because they really needed to win this game to get ahead of that win-loss mark. But it looks good in terms of being able to be competitive this year. There was no indication of being able to stand up against an SEC schedule that gets tough with Texas A&M, Kentucky, and Tennessee before that 5-game gauntlet at the end. So Napier most likely out. I put that as about a 85% certainty at this point. And Miami, their playoff chances look pretty good in a compromised ACC. We appreciate you being here at the Voice of College Football. Reminder, we do have a Miami show. It's every Wednesday night with Cam Underwood from State of the U over on the Canes channel with myself and with Cam. Make it a date, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Track this Miami team this season. It's going to be an intriguing one right here at the Voice of College Football.